Hey guys, what's up? It's Dan again from CryptoCamacho.com, where each day I teach you how to make more money in cryptocurrency. And today, guys, I want to talk about some specific techniques that I use to identify when a cryptocurrency price may go up or when the price may actually dip. There are very specific things you could look for in the charts, or indicators you could look for in the charts, that will literally tell you the story of the particular price point of that cryptocurrency and if the price is going to go up or down. And I want to show you these techniques today. So let's jump right into it, guys. So I'm going to use the Tron or TRX chart today. I'm not going to talk about the coin itself. I'm going to do that in a later review. But I do want to talk about the chart because I think this chart is a very easy chart to read, and it represents a lot of techniques that I'm going to show you, and I'm going to help you understand how you can incorporate these into your trading of other cryptocurrencies as well, right? If you remember, guys, these charts are literally a byproduct or an illustration of how the market is feeling about a particular cryptocurrency, whether there's a lot of support for the cryptocurrency or whether there's not a lot of support, right? Whether support is gaining for that cryptocurrency or if support is waning and there's starting to become resistance of a price point going up of a particular coin. So that's exactly what I want to kind of walk through in this video, is to show you how you can really start to understand the psychology behind these charts. I mean, think about it. These charts are literally just a reflection of the human beings that are actually buying and selling this particular cryptocurrency, right? Their emotions are running high, either up or down, and they're reacting to the prices, to the volumes, and to the things they're reading in the news about a particular coin, right? There's fear of missing out, so people are dumping money in because they're afraid, I'm gonna miss the boat. I want to make money, and I'm gonna miss the boat. There's also anticipation of prices going up because of what you read in the news. Tron is going to transform the world. It's going to revolutionize the entertainment industry. Blah 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 blah. You read all of these things, and you can't help but to anticipate, gosh, the price is really going to surge up, right? This is kind of accentuated or compounded by the fact that in cryptocurrency today, there is no way to put downward pressure on the price or to short the price, to short the actual cryptocurrency, right? With stocks, you could actually short a stock, meaning that there's downward pressure on that stock to bring the price down because there's a number of investors that are betting that the price is going down. In cryptocurrencies, you can't do that, especially with altcoins. You're able to do that now very, very slightly with Bitcoin through certain institutional investment vehicles, but generally as a whole, you cannot currently short altcoins. And so most of the price is driven up by emotion, by reaction, by, not necessarily the value of a company per se, but by the projected value of the company based on what people think it might be. And that's really largely how these charts are being drawn today. And I want to talk through, how you can see this. You can actually literally see in the charts how people are supporting or not supporting a particular price point of any cryptocurrency. So let me show you exactly what I'm talking about, guys. We had a big run up of Tron here. And let me just jump over to a different view of this chart. So this is Tron. It's just a different view. I've kind of zoomed back in time, back to the early days, early December, when the price of Tron was at like sub pennies or even pennies, right? And we've had a great run up since then. And I'm going to show you kind of on this run up how you could kind of, start to day trade and monitor and understand when the price may go up or down for a chart like this, right? Like Tron, right? And this is just one example of many. There's tons of examples. This is just a very clear example that I found that I can use for you guys. So let me get out my pencil here and draw a few things for you. Okay, so before the run-up, not a whole lot of activity to report on, but then once you start seeing the price of this coin going up, there's actually a lot of data you can use literally in this chart to show you and to help you understand if the price is going to continue going up, right? This is a great example of it. So what you want to first look for in charts when you're looking at whether or not to buy or sell a particular coin, you want to look at where the price is at today. So let's pretend, that today is December 31st. The price is like right around here today. Let's say you're looking at this chart and you're like, should I buy this coin or should I not buy this coin? What's actually happening with it? Well, I would look at the history of the chart, and I would first look at all the high points, all of the tops in the last couple of weeks or couple of days in this case of where the cryptocurrency price has been. So let's just draw those out, right? There's a top right here, there's a top right here, there's a top right here, and there is a top, there's a top up here, right up top here, right? There's a top up here. Okay, so there's the top. Okay, top here, top here, top here, top here. And then I would go through and I'd say, okay, where's the actual bottoms? There's a bottom here, there's a bottom here, there's a bottom here, and there's a bottom here, right? And that's initially what I would do. I would initially, let me just move this out of the way a little bit. I would initially do that, and then I would start to look at, okay, of all of the tops that I see, is the trend up or down, right? And in this case, the trend is clearly up, right? Clearly going up, right? And so I would look, okay, there's one top, the next top is actually higher than the last top, and the next top after that is higher than the previous top before that, and then it goes up again, right? So there's a pattern emerging, right? And you could start to see this even earlier on. You could start seeing this even really down here, you know, there's a top really right there. And so you can start to see that there is a trend up of that particular price, right? So it's going up, great. Okay, so bear with me. Same thing goes on the bottoms, right? So you look at the bottoms. You know, the bottoms, there's a bottom here, and the last bottom was actually higher than the previous bottom. The next bottom, or base, if you will, is higher than the previous base, so forth and so on. And you can start to see a trend here. The price is going up, right? The price continued, the trend, not the price too, but the trend overall is going up. That's a good sign. That makes me think and know, okay, people are starting to adopt this. The trend is going up. We're getting more user adoption. Even though there's big dips in here, we're still getting adoption, right? And let's look at the percentages of these, right? So let's go back here. And from this top, you know, from this top to this top, what's the percentage? So the percentage rise from this top to that top is 65%. That was a huge jump. If you would have bought right here and sold up here, you would have made 65% profit, which is big, right? The next top, it is approximately 45%, another very big gain, right? And so forth and so on. The next one is 20%, and then the last one we see here is actually about 35%, right? So some big jumps here. So that's on the top side, right? And you can do the same thing on the bases, same thing. But my point is that now by using this technique, you can start to see that the trend is going up, right? So now we've hit a top, right? There's been four very strong peaks of this particular coin, right? The last peak was very impressive and very much, you know, a high for this coin, a big high for this coin, right? So you can expect what's going to happen after there's been several run-ups, the last being the largest. What's going to happen? There's going to be a big drop in the price. And look at, that's exactly what happened, guys. Huge, huge drop in the price, okay? And so with a big drop in the price like that, what do? Okay, you kind of start over. You start measuring again, okay? So where's the bottoms? Where's the tops? And in this case, you can start seeing, right, that the tops are going lower. They're getting shorter, right? We're seeing downward movement. So the trend is now going down, right? So we see a downward trend. And you can see that. And that could have kept going and going and going all the way through. And you would have known, because every time you see a peak and it's lower than the previous peak, in this case, you know support is waning. People are starting to support it at a lower and lower price. And you can see that in the chart, right? Whereas right here, people were supporting it at a higher and higher price, and the bases were getting higher and higher, meaning people were starting to support it at a higher price point, meaning that people were starting to put the prices being pushed up because there's more people that are supporting it at a higher price than previously, right? So that's kind of how this game works, and that's exactly what's drawn right here. Now, if you look right here, you start to see the reverse again, right? You start to see the reverse. You start to see, oh, okay, you know, there's the next one. It's kind of leveling out from this downward trend. It's starting to level out here. And then what do you see? You start to see some peaks, right? Again, the peaks are trending up again. So should you invest or not? And again, the same thing goes with the bases, right? See, there's the bases, and you can kind of, if you zoomed in a little bit, you can draw those bases a little more clearly. But that's the general concept that I want to kind of leave with you guys of how to read if a chart's going up or down. And you can use these general techniques to kind of view that, right? So let's jump in a little bit deeper here. So let's keep fast forwarding in time. And what happens to the chart, right? What happens? All right, so let's zoom in. My drawings are going to kind of become nothing. But what happens is we're generally seeing a trend up. We see a little bit of a down, right? But then we start seeing the upward movement again. And let me just get this chart a little bit more zoomed in so you guys can see it a little better. But that's exactly what happened. And then the price, you know, again, here's another peak. If I had this chart laid out right, you can see it. But there's another peak higher than the previous peak, right? And we see that the entire way up, guys. The entire way up. You can see the exact same thing. And let me zoom out. Again, you can see it here. I'll draw another few, right? There's a peak, there's a peak, there's a peak, there's a peak. The trend is going up, 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 up. And it went all the way up to $3, or I'm sorry, $3, 30 cents, approximately 30 cents right there. And again, the bases are getting higher and higher and higher and higher. And so, you know, you see that there is a big drop here, right? But it's only one drop. It's only one drop out of many that are going higher. So yes, be cautious of that drop. But then immediately you start seeing the trend going up again, right? So you can, again, predict, again, what's going up. So that's the basic way to read this. And now currently, after the peak, this was the highest peak at 30 cents, what happens? The exact same thing I just said, right? The tops are getting shorter, right? The tops are getting shorter, 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 meaning the price is trending down, 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 right? And the same thing on the support. The bases are getting deeper and longer, meaning, you know, more people are willing to buy at a lower price, right? So the price is trending down. So you can kind of read these movements and kind of see how the price is going up and how the price is going down. And the same exact thing happens right here, right? I mean, just in the last few days, we see, you know, let's draw this out here. We see here's the last major dip right here, right, at like 739. But then you start seeing the support growing stronger and stronger and stronger. We do see a little run up right here, not a whole lot. And then again, a dip down. And you can do this with 1 hour charts, 5-minute charts, 15-minute charts, anything you want. I recommend you use the 1 hour charts to start with, just because there's more time and leeway to react to what's actually happening. If you use the 5 or 15-minute charts, you actually have to react fairly quickly. And the 5-minute charts definitely can be a little bit dicey because things change so quickly. And so it's a little bit harder to be consistent with what you're reading. But that's exactly how it works. And so today's price point, guys, is about, you know, 1,017. I would say, you know, based on the current charts, we did recently see a large run up right here, right? Pretty big run up right here. I don't know what the percentage was, but it was about, let's see, 45%, not a bad run up at all. And so we're seeing kind of a drop off from that. And overall, the trend is a little bit down, but now it's kind of leveled out and it's kind of equalized right here. So I don't have a particular recommendation on whether to buy or sell this particular coin based on these fundamentals or technicals in the chart that you're seeing. I have other opinions which I'll give in a later video. But keep watching this chart, guys, and see what happens here, because you're going to see this is kind of an equalizer right here, and it's kind of flat. But are we going to start seeing another, you know, drop in the base right here? I mean, in the top right here, right here, right here? Or are we going to start seeing more support in it climbing up? Because if it starts climbing up a bit, even higher, you know, then I would see another big, you know, spike coming up soon. Maybe not as big as the last one, but maybe we'll see another spike, right? You could do this, guys, with any chart. And I want to reiterate that you could do this with any chart. Tron just happens to be a very, very nice chart for this. So take a look at it. Study this chart. Study exactly what I just said, and it will help you tremendously in future trading. All right, so there's also one other thing I want to show you guys here. Let's go back and look at the chart. So one other big opportunity or way to make money, which I often talk about in my videos, is trading on the bases. And I want to focus on that for just a second after I've, you know, explained the technique that I just went through. Let me just get to the right view here. Because all along this journey of Tron's price rising to the top, you could have bought and sold on the dips, right? And the way, let me just get to where this chart's kind of acting up a little bit funny. Or not the chart, but the way I'm reading it here. Okay, so anytime, you know, you see these charts doing this, I would recommend you watch for these bases, right? And I'm always talking about base trading and trading on the bases, and this is a really, really good way to actually do that. You know, you can look at these bases, and if you were to trade on any of these bases here, you know, you would have made a good run up every single time. And so be watching for these big dips, guys. If you really believe that a particular coin is going to be around for a few years, you believe in the technology, you believe in what the business is trying to do and the mission of the company, then these dips should not scare you very much, because unless you think the price is going to go to zero, there's always some amount of support to buy back a coin when there's a dip, right? Now, this will be superseded by any news. If any news comes out and says, oh, this company lost this partnership or is going to go bankrupt, there's no guarantees. News always trumps technicals. So when you hear news, that's something you want to react on, because people are all reacting on that. And if the price is going down because of a particular bunch of news, you probably want to pay attention to that. And these technicals aren't going to be as important, so keep that in mind. But assuming there is no news and you see these big dips, you know, you can definitely profit on them. So I would watch them, you know. Right here, you could have, you know, watched this as a last base and said, oh, we cracked the base, I'm going to buy below the base, right? Anywhere in between here, I'm going to buy. And then what happens shortly thereafter, you know, and if you would have bought anywhere in between here, you would have made a very massive profit, right? So anywhere between here, you would have made, you know, anywhere from, gosh, like 135% if you would have sold at the right times, which, you know, is difficult. But so that's kind of how it works. And let's see, some more of these dips, which I want to show here. Let me just get right here to the right spot. Yeah, so some of these ones are very, very obvious. I mean, like, for example, this one is very, very obvious. And I'm using the 1 hour charts, but let's assume we didn't know where the price was going to be. And let's just assume this is what the chart looked like. You know, we were looking at the chart, we were debating whether or not to buy, and this is the chart we were looking at. And we were like, oh, wow, it's already had a very big run up. You know, it's got a huge run up. And here, let me just do this a little bit. Whoops. Okay, so, you know, you're trading. All of a sudden, you see a big run up here, and you see a big dip come up right here. There's the big dip, right? And you say, oh, I'm going to buy on that dip because it cracked the last base. You would have been smart. You would have bought somewhere right in here, and, you know, the price would have gone up. Sorry, I'm going crazy with these now. And the price would have gone up further here, right? Same thing happens on the way down, right? Last base that we saw on the way down, here's the base, right? Coming down, coming down, coming down. The last real strong base was really like right here or right here, right? So if we play off the same base and buy right here, you still see another run up, so forth and so on, right? And these are going to, as the price drops, these bases are going to get lower and lower and lower, but you can always expect that on a very strong base or a strong drop, there's going to be a bounce back. There's going to always be a bounce back. And think about it, guys. When a price is dropping significantly, people start panicking. People start selling their coins, right? They're like, the price is tanking. I don't want to lose my coins. I do this too. I don't want to lose my coins. I sell. You sell, right? And the price drops. And so there's momentum to keep the price going down, down, down. At some point, it hits the bottom, and then there's support, and people say, oh, this is a very good deal for this coin. This is a really, really good deal. I am going to go ahead and buy. And the price drives it back up, unless they think that the price is, unless they think that the company is going to go out of business or something, you know, they typically buy and sell. So I always try to buy on these dips. I don't always do it, don't always have the time or, you know, the visibility, but that's what I try to do. Hopefully this has been an educational video for you guys. Hopefully this has helped you, but I would definitely look out for those trends that I just showed you. One little bonus I want to show you guys really quickly here. It's a little bit more advanced, but it's a very similar concept that you can use something called stochastics to help you identify these trends. I use these all the time. Just go to your Coinigy account here, type in STO, and you'll get stochastics, stochastics 1413, and you can start to see these same types of trends that I've been talking about. So let me just zoom in here to a good spot for you. All right, so here's an example of what I'm talking about, guys. So here's the stochastics right down here. Here's the chart going up right here. Same exact concept. I can't really draw on the stochastics area, but you get the idea. Same concept here, guys. As the price goes up, you see the bases being higher and higher and higher, right? And you can see that the base right here, it's going up. Even though the price isn't really going up all that significantly over on the chart, right? It's harder to see. On the stochastics, you can see the same thing happening, right? The previous base is higher than the last, and then the the next base is higher than the previous base. And it just keeps trending up and up and up and up. And you can see as that's trending up and up, we're getting ready for a big bump in the price. We're getting ready for a big rise. And that's exactly what happened, right? Preparing. Boom. There was a big spike right here. And then it typically lasts for a little while. When there's a rise, it often lasts for quite a while. And then we go back down, right? And so I definitely look for these patterns in the stochastic charts because that is typically how I'm seeing some of these patterns and some of these trends emerge. So anyway, guys, I hope that's been helpful for you. I'm Dan from CryptoCamacho.com. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. Click on that little red button below, and I would love some comments in the comment section to know if this is useful for you guys. But again, till next time, I'm Dan from CryptoCamacho.com, and I will talk to you later. See ya.